Messages from the universe always arrive the same way. Not with fireworks, but with a pulse, a nudge, a quiet knowing you can't unknow. And once you feel it, you can't pretend you didn't. Because the universe doesn't tap you on the shoulder for entertainment. It taps because it's time. And this episode, this one is for the people who feel that tap and finally say, all right, I'm listening. We're stepping into Volume 5, Carriers of the Torch. And listen, I'm not here to hype you up with empty positivity. I'm here to remind you of what your soul already knows. You didn't come here to sit on the sidelines. You didn't come here to stay dim. And you definitely didn't come here to wait for permission. This episode is built on 10 pillars, 10 stories, 10 truths, and 10 moments that crack people open and make them say, damn, that might be me. Each one is its own world, its own mirror, its own dare. Some will poke you, some will lift you, some will call you out a little. All of them will call you forward. Because being a carrier of the torch isn't about being perfect. It's about choosing to be lit, choosing to step, choosing to hold the frequency even when the room goes dim. So take a breath. Sit up a little taller and get ready. Because the universe isn't whispering today. It's speaking clearly. And it's speaking to you. Are you ready? I am. I'm Jonah. I'm your person. Let's get to it. Pillar 1, the spark. When the universe taps you on the shoulder. It starts quietly, not with fireworks, not with a parade, not even a moment that feels like it's supposed to be monumental. The universe doesn't yell, it whispers. And sometimes it taps you on the shoulder. You don't even realize it at first. Maybe it's a thought that just won't leave your head, a gut feeling you can't shake. A person, a book, a sentence that strikes a chord deep inside you. That's the spark. I want you to pause here for a second. Imagine it. You're going on about your day, thinking everything is ordinary. And then, out of nowhere, something brushes against the edge of your awareness, and suddenly, you feel called. Something awakens in you. Goosebumps. Your chest tightens. Your mind says, wait, what if? Here's the thing. Almost everyone ignores it. Most people shrug it off as a coincidence, luck, or random thought. But those who notice it, who honor it, who act on it, they are the ones who become the torchbearers. That tap, that spark, is not random. It's not some gentle suggestion you can dismiss. It's your frequency nudging you, reminding you that you are wired for more and meant for something bigger. And the beauty is, it doesn't have to be dramatic. You don't need an epic epiphany. You just need attention, presence, and the courage to say, I see you. I hear you. I'll go. That's the beginning, the first step of stepping forward. So right now, ask yourself, have you felt the tap, the whisper, the spark? And if you have, what will you do with it? Because that moment, small as it may feel, is the opening act of your story as a carrier of the torch. It's your invitation to rise to lead, to ignite. Not just your own life, but the lives around you. Pillar 2. Your light isn't an accident. There's something you need to hear, and I'm just the one delivering it. Your light isn't an accident. The universe doesn't misplace gifts. It doesn't hand out abilities like party favors. It doesn't give you instincts, strengths, sensitivities, or perspectives just because. Everything you can carry was placed there with intention, precision, and purpose. Most people spend their lives downplaying what's in them. They treat their gifts like quirks, their insight like coincidence, their resilience like something they just had to learn. But that's not the truth. The truth is this: the universe equips its torchbearers long before they ever realize they're being prepared. Think about your life, not the highlight reel, the real stuff. The parts of you brushed off as personality. The moments where you understood something deeper than the room around you. The way people come to you, even when you don't invite it. The times you said something that surprised even you. Those aren't random. Those are fingerprints of intention. Your light was built into you, woven, designed. And for most of your life, you've carried it without realizing that what feels normal to you is extraordinary to someone else. That's how the universe works. It hides brilliance inside the everyday until you're ready to see it. And here's the part people forget. The light you've been given isn't for decoration. It's directional. It's functional. It's meant to be a guide, to heal, to illuminate, to steady, to activate. Not in grand gestures, but in real human moments. Your sensitivity, that's a compass. Your empathy, that's a signal. Your intuition, that's a doorway. Your strength, that's scaffolding. Your voice, that's a match. You don't carry these things by accident. You carry them because someone, somewhere, in some future moment, will need exactly what you have. And when the universe tapped on you on the shoulder, it wasn't calling you to be someone else. It was calling you to finally see who you've been all along. Pillar 3, courage in small places. Sometimes people think courage has to be loud, that it needs a spotlight, a stage, or a dramatic turning point that everyone can point to and say, that was the moment. But the truth is, the courage that actually reshapes a life, it almost never looks like that. It looks like something small, something forgettable to everyone except the person who dared to do it. Let me bring you into a room with someone. Let's call her Maya. Maya wasn't trying to be a hero. She wasn't trying to find her purpose. She wasn't even trying to impress anybody. She was just trying to get through her day. But she'd been carrying around this quiet knowing for months. I can't keep living like this. Something has to shift. Not the kind of knowing that knocks you over. The kind that whispers and then waits for you to respond. Her moment came on an ordinary Tuesday. She wrote an email she'd been avoiding for over a year. A simple message that said, "I'm ready to talk." That's it. No fireworks, no rousing music. But it changed everything. Because from that moment forward, she wasn't the person who avoided. She became the person who acted. Just one microscopic shift, but her entire trajectory bent around it. This is the part I want your heart to hear. The universe doesn't just speak in grand emissions, it also speaks in nudges. And the micro bravery you keep dismissing, that is the training ground for the torch you're meant to carry. Your version of the tiny act might be sending the message, or making the call, or telling the truth, or walking into a room you've talked yourself out of 100 times. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It just has to be yours. And the moment you do it, the moment you take that one brave step, your path shifts, your frequency shifts, and your identity shifts. Not because it was big, but because you finally stepped forward when no one was watching. Pillar 4. Frequency carriers don't wait for permission. You ever notice how the people who change the room, the culture, the timeline, are never the ones who waited for someone to tap them on the shoulder? There's this girl, let's call her Lonnie. Quiet, observant, never the first to speak. But one day, her team at work hit a wall. Everyone kept looking for a senior voice, a leader, a permission slip. And whilst the whole team stalled, Lonnie just stood up. Not dramatically, not loudly. She walked to the whiteboard, uncapped a marker, and said, "Okay, here's how we move." Everyone froze. She wasn't the leader. She wasn't the veteran. And she wasn't the one supposed to take charge. But here's the thing. Frequency carriers don't ask who's in charge. They recognize the vacuum and fill it. They don't wait for someone to knight them. They don't wait for a title upgrade. They don't wait until they feel ready. Because they already know the secret. Readiness is a frequency, not a certificate. And the second she started writing on the board, the entire room shifted. People sat up. Ideas unlocked. A stuck team unstuck. Not because she had power, but because she claimed responsibility. That's what frequency carriers do. They step forward whilst everyone else is still looking left and right, hoping someone else will go first. Here's the part the universe wants you to hear today. If you've been waiting for a sign, a green light, a vote, an audience, or someone to validate you, that's your old frequency talking. The new one, the higher one, the one that makes you a torchbearer, it whispers one thing: move. Now. Before anyone tells you you're allowed to. Because the moment you do, the room will shift for them. But the entire trajectory will shift for you. Pillar 5. The quiet ones change the room. Sometimes the most powerful person in a room is the one nobody notices right away. Not because they're hiding, but because their presence is doing the talking for them. There's a story that the universe loves to tell, and maybe you've lived this version of it. Picture someone who doesn't fight for the spotlight, doesn't push to be heard, and doesn't need applause to validate their existence. They walk into a room, and somehow everything shifts a degree. The energy softens, or sharpens, or focuses, depending on what the moment needs. They don't announce themselves, they just are. And that's the surprising truth. Quiet influence is often the strongest frequency in the space. I once watched someone, let's call him Johnny, walk into a team meeting full of heated voices, scattered frustration, and zero direction. He didn't raise his tone. He didn't step into take charge. He simply sat down, grounded breath, and one by one, the room recalibrated. People lowered their voices. Someone apologized mid-sentence. Another shifted from defensiveness into curiosity. No title, no authority, no scripted leadership moment. Just alignment, just steadiness, just presence. And the wild thing Everybody noticed, but nobody could explain it. Something changed, they said. Yeah, he changed the room. The universe whispers this to you right now. Your impact isn't measured by decibels. It's measured by resonance. You don't have to be the loudest to be the leader. You don't have to be the center of attention to be the center of gravity. Influence is not your volume contest. It's an alignment contest. There's someone in your life right now watching how you move, how you handle inconvenience, how you listen, how you breathe before you speak, how you choose integrity when chaos tempts you into noise. The quiet ones don't dominate the room. They shift it. They stabilize it. They elevate it. And if you've ever wondered, does anyone even notice what I'm doing? Here's your answer from the universe. They notice you more when you're not trying to be noticed. Your quiet power is not a flaw. It's a frequency. And the room is already responding to it. Pillar 6. Your alignment is contagious. There's this moment the universe loves. The moment when one person quietly chooses alignment and the entire room shifts, even if nobody understands why. Picture this. A woman walks into a meeting at her job. Same fluorescent lights, same exhausted people, same agenda that hasn't changed in 5 years. But she's different today. Not louder, not more confident, not suddenly perfect, just aligned. She did the work in private. She cleared the noise. She decided she's done shrinking, done apologizing, done dimming for the comfort of people who never learned how to hold their own light. She's sitting there, taking notes, contributing, listening with intention, and one guy across the table keeps glancing at her. Not in a weird way, but in that way people look at someone who feels grounded, steady, present. Like he can't name it, but he can feel something is different. Then, another woman at the far end stops tapping her pen. She softens her shoulders. She sits a little straighter, almost like her nervous system just borrowed courage. 5 minutes later, that same guy speaks up, the one who never talks. Not because she told him to, not because she gave him a pep talk, but because her alignment lowered the temperature in the room and made honesty feel safe. One aligned human shifted the entire environment without performing, lecturing, or pushing. Her energy did the work because alignment is not personal. It's magnetic. It's permission giving. It's a frequency the body recognizes before the mind catches up. You think people need you to save them? No. They just need to see you aligned. That's the part you never realized was powerful enough to change a room. Your nervous system teaches other nervous systems how to breathe. And the universe smiles every time it happens because it's proof, living, breathing proof, that one person standing in their truth becomes a tuning fork for everyone around them. You don't even have to try. Just stand aligned. The world adjusts around you. Pillar 7. The hard thing that made you a torchbearer. There's always a moment, one you didn't ask for, didn't choose, didn't feel ready for, but it showed up anyway. And it became the split in your life where everything that came after was built. For some people, it was the night that their world cracked. For others, it was the season no one checked in. No one saw them. And no one noticed the weight that they were carrying. And for a few, maybe for you, it was the moment you realized no one is coming to save me, so I have to learn to save myself. It's funny. The universe never hands the torch to the person who's comfortable. It hands it to the one who's standing in the dark holding their own shattered pieces, whispering, "I don't know how, but I'll find a way." And that's what you did. You found a way. Even if it didn't look graceful, even when it didn't look healed, even when your voice shook, and even when you weren't sure if you were doing the right thing. But here's the truth no one tells you early enough. Your torch wasn't forged in the moments you were strong. It was forged in the moments you thought you were breaking. It was forged in the heartbreak you survived, in the betrayal you outgrew, in the loneliness you turned into self-respect, in the rejection that taught you what you're worth, in the season that demanded more from you than you could have ever thought you could give. You didn't become a torchbearer because life made it easy. You became one because life made you earn your fire. And the universe watched you do it, watched you crawl, watched you tremble, watched you rebuild, and said, "Good, they can carry this now." This is the part where people realize the hard thing didn't ruin them. The hard thing revealed them. It carved depth. It created compassion. It gave you vision. It gave you weight. It gave you the kind of presence that makes people exhale when you walk into the room. Torchbearers aren't the people who had it easiest. They're the ones that made light out of the thing that should have ended them. You didn't just survive. You transformed. And now you carry a flame others can follow through their own dark places because of the hard thing, not in spite of it. Pillar 8. Walk like someone is watching because they are. There's a moment you don't even remember, but someone else does. You were just being you, walking into a room, holding a door, letting someone speak before rushing them, picking up the thing everyone else pretended they didn't see. You didn't give yourself a medal. You didn't think it mattered. You didn't even think anyone noticed, but they did. There's a kid somewhere who learned what respect looks like because of a single thing you said when you thought no one was paying attention. There's a coworker who kept going because they watched how you handled pressure with grace instead of collapse. There's someone who was one bad day away from giving up on themselves, and then they caught a glimpse of how you treat people, and it made them want to try again. Not because you were performing, not because you were showing off, but because your default setting, your natural frequency, slipped out into the open. And that's the one thing about torchbearers. Your life teaches even when your mouth is silent. We think inspiration happens on stages, but the real stuff, the stuff that rewires someone's trajectory, happens in break rooms, street corners, grocery store aisles, gym benches, and those in-between moments where you act on instinct. Someone is watching the way you navigate this world, not to judge you, but to learn how to walk through their own. And if that feels heavy, flip it. It means you are more influential, more impactful, more seen than you've ever given yourself credit for. You are somebody's reference point, somebody's quiet example, somebody's proof that it's possible to move through this world with dignity, respect, kindness and compassion, and fire. You don't shine because someone is watching. Someone is watching because you shine. Walk like it matters, because it already does. Pillar 9. When you carry the torch, you light others. There's a moment, and you never know when, where the thing you've been carrying finally catches someone else's eye. Maybe you're not trying to be profound. Maybe you're not trying to inspire anyone. And maybe you're just doing what your spirit refuses to put down. But then one day, you look up, and someone is walking behind you. Not because you told them to, not because you convinced them, and not because you had the right words or the right credentials or the right moment. They followed you because your fire made it easier to see their own path. The story goes like this. A man once started waking up early to walk before work. Nothing dramatic, just a quiet decision to save his own mental health. He didn't post about it, he didn't invite anyone, and he didn't announce a journey or start a challenge. He just walked. One morning, he noticed his next-door neighbor shuffling out onto the sidewalk at the same hour. A week later, there were two. Within a month, half the block was out there. Mismatched shoes, headphones, hoodies, no filter, no perfection, just humans trying. And here's the twist. When they eventually told him what inspired them, it wasn't his discipline, it wasn't his routine, and it wasn't even his consistency. It was the fact that he didn't stop, that he carried something, a simple torch of self-respect. So quietly, so steadily, that others felt safer stepping forward themselves. Torchbearers don't give speeches. They don't campaign. They don't demand action. They lead by being what others forgot they could be. And the universe always notices when one flame becomes 2, then 5, then 50. Because that's the secret the world keeps missing. When you carry the torch, you don't just light the path. You give people permission to believe in their own fire again. Pillar 10. You are the continuation of a line that refuses to dim. Somewhere in your lineage, and I don't mean just bloodline, I mean soul line, someone carried the light they were never thanked for. Someone who held the family together without applause. Someone who prayed for people who never knew their name. Someone who pushed through a night that should have broken them. And someone who woke up one morning and decided quietly, not today. I'm not letting it end with me. They didn't do it for recognition. They didn't do it for legacy. And they didn't do it for the promise of a future they'd never witness. They did it because the torch refused to go out in their hands. And whether you realize it or not, you're here because of them. You think you're standing alone, figuring out life one moment at a time. But you were actually the newest chapter in a long line of humans who kept choosing to stay lit, even when the world around them flickered. Your strength didn't start with you. Your resilience didn't start with you. Your fire didn't start with you. You're borrowing it. You're continuing it. You are carrying a momentum that began way before your lifetime. A momentum that said, we rise, we repair, and we illuminate. You are the living proof that the light didn't die in them. And one day, someone would look back and say the same thing about you. Because when the universe chooses a torchbearer, it doesn't choose them to be the end of the line. It chooses them to be the bridge. A bridge between what came before and what must come next. You are that bridge. You are that continuation. You are that refusal to dim. And when your chapter is done, the fire will outlive you, because that's what real light does. It survives, it spreads, and it carries on through the ones who are willing to hold it. And right now, that's you. Here we go. If you're still here, if you're still listening, then you already know what this means. You didn't stumble into this episode. You were brought to it. Somewhere, quietly, invisibly, something has been preparing you. Not to be louder, not to be perfect, but to be lit from the inside in a way that other people can feel before they even hear your name. Because torchbearers don't announce themselves. They don't need to. They move through the world with this subtle, unmistakable frequency, the kind that says, I know who I am, and I know why I'm here. And maybe, just maybe, this episode didn't give you new information. Maybe it simply reminded you of what you forgot, of the lineage behind you, of the light inside you, of the people watching who will never say a word, but who will become braver because you existed. So if you've been dimming, if you've been doubting, if you've been waiting for the moment to begin, this is me and the universe telling you, you've already begun. Carry your torch. Walk with intention. Lead without asking, and shine without apologizing. Because someone out there is stepping forward next, not because you told them to, but because you showed them what a lit human looks like. And that is the kind of legacy that never burns out. I'm Jonah C. This is Messages from the Universe. And you? Yes, you. You're one of the ones we've been waiting for. Hey everyone, thanks again for tuning in. Messages from the Universe is the most demanded content from listeners, so be sure to listen to volumes 1 through 4. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the show with someone you think would enjoy it or benefit from the show. Also, please don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss an episode. Remember, it's free. If you'd like to catch more content and special messages, you can find me on TikTok, Snapchat, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and YouTube. Thanks so much for continuing to stay on this journey with me. Join me next week for a new episode of Challenge Accepted with Jonah C. For now, thanks again for listening, and have a great week.